Reece, good to be back to training in some form of normality this week. How's the week been for you?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's footy's back in some capacity and run a pretty strict protocol, but it's great to be back at the club around the guys and finding a really nice routine again, which is really helpful.
And your last session before some contact drills as well, so there really is a lot of light at the end of the tunnel now.
Yeah, I think the guys are really looking forward to a bit of contact. That's when the real stuff really happens. So, we can get a bit more competitive and be a bit more game-like. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we're sort of cracking in a bit of match simulation stuff because games really aren't that far away. So, yeah, I'm sure the guys are really excited.
Who's impressed you on the track so far this week? Has there been anyone come back in really good condition?
I think we're only in groups of 7 or 8, so it's hard to tell from the other groups. But within my group, the guys are all looking really good condition. Bailey's a really good athlete; he looks really good. But yeah, I think most guys are in a really good form physically. It's great to have Jesse back as well, and he's looking phenomenal. So that's again really exciting for us.
On Jesse, you've had one of the best seats in the house to watch him this week. How close is he to a round two return and being a part of that Gold Coast hub?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. We'll leave the selection to JL and the coaches and the club, but physically, mentally, he looks and I've spoken to him and he feels in a really good position. So, that's really encouraging for us. We'll get him up to speed with, the game plan and everything from that football sense of side. But yeah, he looks great, so it's really exciting.
Oh, that's good. Have you trained with him for the whole week, and has there been anything that he hasn't been able to do physically in terms of drills?
So he's on legs twice a week. So he missed the footy skills on Wednesday, but today and Monday he's looking in fine condition, training really well. His skills are really good. So it really looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
What has been the focus of training? What's the balance been between sort of fitness and cardio with only a 3-week build-up and skills and structures in groups of only 7? How's the balance been?
I think this week's been more of just an integration week, see where guys are at physically, especially the Monday, Tuesday, and then just slowly build for next week. So I think we've been doing 6-7 Ks each day with a bit of touch and weight conditioning. So the week's been really good, skills have been really good. So I think once we can train as a full group, that'll be when we sort of ramp up a bit more game plan and match simulation stuff, which is all the fun stuff.
How much have you guys been looking forward to actually seeing the fixtures? The deadline is sort of coming up. It's probably Monday when the fixtures will come out. Have you been sort of anticipating daily that you're going to find out who you're playing in round 1 or round 2?
To be honest, not really. It's sort of, footy's come back relatively quickly this last week or so, and I know, personally, I've just been really focused on getting back and keeping myself mentally and physically fresh. We know the other teams that'll be up in the Gold Coast in that hub, so we've got a rough idea who we'll be playing, and no doubt the next couple of weeks we'll do a bit of scouting and report on that. But yeah, I think this last week's just been really about getting around each other and having a really excited energy around the club, and it's been good to get back.
How good has it been to actually get some sort of time with people outside of your home, just on like at a personal level, when you actually finally get back here and see all your mates again?
Yeah, I know. For me, I'm a real people person. I thrive off being around others, and really the energy of the group really makes me a better person. So I know this week's been really great for me. So I'm sure there's a lot of guys in the same boat, and the excitement levels have been all-time high this week. So hopefully we can carry that over to the Gold Coast and into the first few rounds.
What was it like having the quarantine guys back officially today? They've obviously been training on the ground, but under really strict protocols, no coaches on the oval, not being able to go inside the club. Have you had a chance to speak with those guys today?
Nah, not at all. I managed to see Adam Chera from 20 metres away, so that put a smile on my face. I love Ches, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to Monday where I can really get around those guys, and I'm sure the last 14 days for them has been relatively difficult, but from all the group chats and the correspondence I've had with them, they seem like the spirits have been really high, and we've been getting around them as much as we can. So yeah, it'd be really good to have them all back.
And what's your role likely to look like from round 2? You sort of called yourself the general in defence. Round 1, are you likely to stay down back, or you might push a bit more into the midfield?
I think I'll stay in the back line. I haven't spoken to JL about any change, so yeah, I think in terms of position-wise, most guys will stay relatively fixed on where they were. I think that was a real focus over the pre-season, that everyone trained most of that block in that spot. So yeah, I think I'll be staying down back and add a little bit of extra experience, which I think is really helpful, especially with Piercy and Joel not down there. So we've got a very young back line.
Do you back the back line to get the job done against some of those bigger forward lines? You've probably got Brisbane, Port, Adelaide. They've all got quite big forward lines, and you're probably likely to face them in the hub.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's the line that probably showed the most growth over the pre-season. Our back line, some really young guys stepping up. Griffin Logue's in career best form, and he's really holding us the keys down there. Coxie's young as well, and super athletic, got heaps of talent, so he'll come along with us as well. And yeah, I think it's really exciting for our backline group. In terms of height and size, we'll sort of match up that when the week comes. But yeah, I have no doubt that we'll be able to hold our own.
What about some of the younger guys? Who are you most looking forward to seeing out there? Is Liam Henry or Hayden Young or anyone a chance to push for an early debut?
I think anything's possible, and that's what's so exciting about this season. Those young guys have had really good pre-seasons and they're super talented. I'll leave the hard selections up to JL, but I haven't really had a chance to see any of them on the track, obviously because of the small groups, but I have no doubt they've put in the work over this break and they'll be raring to go.
One of the big talking points this week has been the financial impact on players of the salary cuts. So Marlon Pickett was in the paper today, struggling a little bit financially, reportedly. How is the salary cuts affecting players, and what needs to be done to sort of ensure those players who have front-loaded contracts or maybe aren't as highly paid sort of make it through the season?
Yeah, look, to be honest, it's something as players we don't really talk about too much. Everyone's going to be in a different boat financially, but that's the deal that came up with the AFL, the 50% for the rest of the season, and I'm sure that the PA are doing everything they can from that side of things. So it's something we don't really worry about too much. It's nothing we can really do personally, but it's just one of those things. It's good to have footy back and playing again.
Do you feel for players that might be struggling though?
Oh, absolutely. And I think everyone out there in the whole world's struggling in some capacity. So I'm feeling for everyone.